progress and peace in this nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, that's a very pleasant. That's a very pleasant welcome. This is Intel Sports. At the moment, you're entering into Sports Talk. The program comes away Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so today is Wednesday, the midweek edition on the 8th of May. Few days after the county meet found us two different categories of founder, both male and female. And then we have other issues as well. After that, we know that the Monserrado Sub Association playoffs have got underway. 26 teams are contesting for 3 or more positions. There have been matches on yesterday and today. All 26 teams have already played. As always, in any football competition, there were shots and there were obvious that won as well. We'll look at all the results for you. We'll talk about the playoff. We'll also of this tonight is the Liberia Football Association with respect to technical development programs emanating from the Technical Director's Office. And as the Technical Director, since the passing away of Mr. Heron Brown, may so rest in peace, it has been Doko Wise, former national team player who also played his straight with Invisible 11 IE before traveling to the US to play professional football while studying as well. And he will go play in the Major League Soccer. So he's in charge or head of delegation as the Liberia national team. U17 national team, female team, I must mention, traveled today to Senegal to play Senegal over the weekend. Okay, they're in the two-leg attack for the U17 Women Championship qualifier. So he's part of that delegation. The last time I communicated with him was like almost 30 minutes ago. The plane had just touched down and they made their way to the hotel. He's trying to do some arrangement, so he's going to come on with me. So we'll discuss lots of conversation, and then we'll also have some of our colleagues, panelists and pundits will be coming on as well as we talk all things sports on Sports Talk. So my name is Ben Garba. For many times, hold on, last week, let me say, Chris, welcome.
It's a pleasure once more to be on the premier sports platform in Liberia. Like you said, we are always here to serve Liberian people the best in sports reporting. And today, there was lots of entertaining matches in the play of some big names went down. Like you said, we will touch on that and look at the road to the second division. And like children and I who were saying, it's the most difficult league to play in, the third division.
I agree with you.
Most difficult league. You play in your sub association, you go to the Mosrado playoff, from the playoff, you go to the national playoff before coming to the first division or second division. So if you drop from the first division, from the second division to the third division, it is difficult to come back. So it is difficult. Our girls will be against a very huge side, and this is something we'll have to talk about. We have an interview courtesy of the Liberia Football Association media department with the head coach Sekou Georges Monoba speaking just before his team departed. We will have that. Our Liberian athletic led by Joseph Famula made a record, set a new record, qualifying to the Paris Olympic. They came second, which is so good for Liberia. Things would Painsville president. We were bit by bit.
So let's hearing that you have Painsville.
So Painsville FC president said something that Liberia clubs needs to be hungry for success internationally. Over 40 years since a Liberian club last played in the group stage
of the Champions League
or any club competition or major. So his team is now into the
CAF
Confederation Cup. So they are preparing. He had an interview with journalists. We will play that. You hear what he have to say. And there are lots of things. Like he talk about the Momo, good competition that fall within the range of the LFA technical director. We need to grow young talents. The last time we have our guys here again, Wesley, Fatimata Barry, they talk about this county meet. And before speak about this county, it's just an event. After the event, what is left
Has to be a
So we
discussion
need to
topic.
discuss that. We need to discuss it. The T class said, why will you have a chance of Freeman still playing in County me? You go to the National League, you see Chelsea Freeman. You come to the national team, Chelsea Freeman. County media again, Chelsea Freeman. So how are we scouting player? So that's it for you tonight. Lots and lots of things on our plate, and it promises to be very interesting. We are taking this break to be right back.
Well, that's it. Welcome back. Any other news? I must say congratulations to a very strong, hardworking woman. She was one of our guests a few weeks ago on this platform. She came into football leadership in 2010. Okay, served as executive committee member and head of female football on the executive committee. Graduating with a master's, a second master, this time in sports leadership from the Northeastern University College of Professional Studies on today. So let me say congratulations to you, Rochelle Favored Woodson. You got that news?
Yes, I got that news. And she just celebrated her birthday.
Oh,
I think 2 days ago or one day. Yes, she just celebrated her birthday. And to see young, like it's not about young, but women into sports. And she went and took her time. She could say, I want to go and venture into business, popular administration, or something else to make money. But she
banking and
decided,
finance.
decided, I want to go into sports management. So it shows that she have that love for sports. How many persons or people we have within Liberia that have degree in sports management or sports like that? Many of the people just go to workshop and whatsoever because I play and you feel you are at that level. But for a female to ascend to that level, getting a master in sports management, we must give up.
I agree with you. Absolutely. Congratulations.
And that's why
Rochelle
she is
Favor.
called the Iron Lady of Liberian football.
Congratulations, Rochelle Favor Woodson. Yeah, I think her birthday was on TV4 yesterday, something like that. So it's double celebrations for you as you graduate from Northeastern University on today with a second master's degree this time in sports management. So like Chris would say, some would choose to do management, banking and finance to make money, but your passion has defined you and driven you to a field that you always love to be fond. But on the flip side, there's been some sort of controversy, and I'm just going to read this. We will not talk about it much, but Kasia Kou, whom you know very well, is president for FC Caron, CEO of FC Caron Liberia. It is reported that he invested 30,000 in the purchase of the club, and they survived relegation at the close of a remarkable season, remarkable for many, many reasons. But the issue is, early this morning, around about 08:08, he dropped a communication in the popular forum, the Liberia Football Forum. We're not going to dwell our conversation on this. I just want to read what he dropped in the forum and the immediate response from Favor Rochelle Woodson. Okay, so he goes on to say, "Dear Liberia Football Forum members, I'm writing to address a serious matter that has been brought to my attention. It has come to my knowledge that false and misleading information has been circulating about me, parenthesis, Kasia Anthony Kou Sr., being the mastermind behind the story of Rochelle's alleged involvement in a business email compromised, which is called BEC, in a business email compromised scheme. I want to assure you that this information is completely inaccurate, misleading, and disappointing. I want to set the record straight and provide some facts to dispel these rumors. Firstly, I'm a true brother to Rochelle, and I have been a constant source of support to her and her entire family. I have contributed to every success of Rochelle's and her family's lives since I got to know her some 12 to 15 years back. And I have been a generous and loyal sibling. In fact, I donated my own blood to save her mother's life before she passed away, and I have spent thousands of dollars on Rochelle and her family over the years. Many of you in this chat room can attest to my generosity and goodwill towards Rochelle and her family. Secondly, I would never betray someone I consider a sister, even if I had evidence of wrongdoing. My loyalty and commitment to my family are unwavering, and I would never engage in actions that will harm or damage someone I care about. Lastly, I'm in favor of Rochelle's progress and success. I want to see her thrive and reach her full potential. It's unfortunate that Rochelle has chosen to spread false information about me because I disagree with her as far as the LFA presidency is concerned. I hope that in the future, she will refrain from spreading false rumors and instead focus on building positive relationships with those around her. I hope this clears up any misconceptions or doubts that may have been raised by this false information. I appreciate your understanding and support in this matter. Sincerely, Mr. Kasser Anthony Kwo, CEO, President, FC Cologne. Well,
Did Rochelle respond?
yeah, she did, and there's been series of response.
So let's
of
go to
responses.
the response from
Yeah,
Rochelle.
but like I said, there's not a Cassette V Rochelle show.
Yeah.
But just want to just read.
No, but these are things we need to bring on this platform.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
You know,
you cannot read.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
I can rule it out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read how did she immediately respond to the comments of Mr. Cassette Kwo. She said, I will respond to your last in this rebuttal of your actions to damage my good reputation. How in this world, my father, who was managing director and worked in government for over 30 years, he supported us. I started working with Unmill 2004 and got elected in 2010 as an executive committee member. When I didn't know you then, I got to know you in 2011, and by then I was already in the limelight of assisting many young football players. This is some of your many lies you continue to inflict on my good character. I maintain that you masterminded this diabolical story against me, and you will pay for this in return. Why can't you be a man to tell this forum how you threaten to tell Interpol and Liberia police to arrest me just like you did to Chris when Sylvester and others contacted you? They all came back to let me know your response after engaging you after your evil doings or about your evil doings. You need to pray for the FBI to put me in jail in June, because when I get to Liberia, you will definitely get the worst from me. You know that I hate you for your constant lies, and I will fight anyone who will blatantly lie to damage my character. Kase. What a response.
Wow. Wow. So, Liberia Football Association election is still far away.
Very, very far.
And these are things coming up. 1 minute, Rochelle wants to be president. Kase Kimi, he wants to. Also, Chris Weir. I don't know where this is coming from, because when Rochelle was last in Liberia, I saw she and Kase very close in December, probably December or January, when he was doing some donations around. She was very close to him. So with these things, there is a saying, where there is smoke, there is fire.
Agreed.
But my thing, if you help someone to come back and start to talk about it, it's not good. But also, if someone help you and you want to bring that person down and spread things against this person, it's not good. So we should disagree on ideology, but to start going personal, and this is where I see this going.
Yeah.
This is where I see this going. If we are not careful, because first it was Chris Cassel.
Yeah, Chris
Now
Weah v.
is
Cassel.
yeah
Now it's Cassel v.
v.
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Wow.
Next, Cassel v. Raji or Raji v. Sekou Kone. And I don't think our football deserve this.
No.
We have come a very long way. When we are seeing lights at the end of the tunnel, then administrators start to go and pick at each other. That sends a bad image for the country football. Our young kids, I think these stakeholders should be thinking about how they can develop football in this country. Like Kaseko, you have a very good team. You are financially strong. So what do you do at this point? Invest your money into the team. Let the team play the best of football. Win all of the laurels in Liberia. People will hear you.
What do you get when you win all the laurels in Liberia? I mean, you say Cassel have got the money. He knows or wants to invest some in his club, which is why he bought Colony FC Liberia. There is a huge possibility that he's going to rename the club Facade FC.
That is clear. It's not a possibility.
Okay.
It's confirmed.
So he's going to
When he
rename
took
the
over
club.
the club, he said at the end of the season, we'll change the team name to Facade FC.
Facade FC. So
I'm being told the team jersey already in time with Facade FC on it.
okay. So what much more do you get from football when you win the championship? Facade have won the championship before. They've played, they've won NACO championship. They've represented Liberia in the level of the CAF Confederations Cup. I think in the Champions League as well. When you come
Not the
in
Champions
the CAF Confederations
CAF
Cup,
Confederation.
when you come this close, I mean, spending money, you
Former
want to
vice
control
president for operation.
for operation, you want control in football. And the way to get control in football is to ascend to the upper echelon. Now he's been at the level of operations before. And right now, the biggest job passing by the vice president is the presidency. So that's why you want to venture. So you see why people want to be president head of an institution. He's got money, he's got capacity, he wants to invest the money, he's
Has the
already
connections.
investing it, he has the connection, quote unquote. He's been at that level before. He's successful somehow in running a club, very successful club from third division up to first division, win NACO championship, play in the African continent. Next you want is power. So you see,
No, I'm not saying he should not
pursue of his
power.
power.
My thing for Mustafa Raji to ascend to that level, people saw, like you said, the success of Leicester FC. Continuously, they are into the Champions League, CAF competition, and he has run a team for that level. So let's see how can you are coming back to football. How can you run your team and take it at this level? And it's not like before where club presidents don't benefit from transfer. Now you have players leaving Liberia directly to Europe, directly to other African countries. So if you buy the best of players in the country, because Liberian players, what they need is money. Once you can attract them, when Robert Salif, BYC was here, everyone wants to go to BYC because you had a good organization, money was there, they were motivated, and they had other things. So you see at that level, people will start running to you for the presidency. So just do well with your club. But Martin, yes, he's qualified. But let's look at the team. Let's look at the growth of our players. Let's look at how we move our teams from this level to this level. But to come and start to attack individuals' character at this level, what a way, Cassell, Boucher, Chris, we are whosoever, it's bad. We need to be clear on this. It's bad. Let's look at the issue. How can we face Liberian football? What are the ills in Liberian football? These are things we should be looking at. But to come and start attacking personality, I think it's not good. It's not healthy for our football or sports development.
I couldn't have agreed with you more, my brother. Let's say thanks so much. So we're not going to dignify that, but just to let you know that that was some of the training development today in the biggest football chat room in Liberia. I mean, supposedly two good friends, okay, in just a twink of an hour, just a twink of seconds or so. I mean, their friendship looked sour. And this is something that's been happening since the morning. That was publicly disclosed this morning by Mr. Kwo. And I've got to say that Ms. Wilson has replied in many, many ways. But like I said, this is not a Cassell v. Wilson show, probably another day. Let's look at the results from the ongoing Montserrat Sub-Association Third Division playoffs, where there were 4 matches on today. But first, though, there was matches on yesterday. 3 venues were in use, for which we had 9 fabulous results. Let me just go through the results for you, like you see there on your screen. Division number 7, Academy 5, James FC 2. That match will play at Detroit Field. Montserrat FC 1, Golden Dream 3. Lifoya let slip a 2-goal lead, and they were beaten by Chemical FC by 3-2. Samuel Chemical scored twice and was voted as man of the match in that Keche encounter.
Samuel Chemical from Chemical FC.
Yeah. and elsewhere at the SKT practice pitch, Majestic Malaikat FC 0, Young Adidas 2, Fuan FC 1, Evergreen 1, Thunder FC 1, Mama Point Warriors 1. And then the last venue, Tusal Field on yesterday, Fulton result, Carwell United 1, Amazing FC 2, Mama FC put 5 past Destiny Youth FC with all reply. And in the late game at Tusal Field, they finished Junior United 0, Shadrach United 0. Let's now look at the other results from today. There were 4 matches at the Anthony Tottenham Stadium. It started so early this morning, around about 10 o'clock. Okay, you were there before me. Around about 10 o'clock in the early game, FC Lisali were beaten 2-0 by West Point Arsenal. It finished Ansar 3, Fender United 2. Congress were beaten 1-0 by Zion Young Defender. And in the last game of the day, the Central Monrovia champions Downtown were beaten or upset by Augustine FC by a 1-0. So those are the results for you in the ongoing Montserrat Third Division, that's Montserrat Sub-Association Third Division playoff. You've got a concern, especially given the fact that Downtown FC beating, Congress beating.
I think that's the beauty of football and a playoff. Like I said earlier on, this is the most difficult league to play in. It's the most difficult league to be a president of. Few teams have gotten relegated to the third division and come back. Legs of Patch FC.
Samira
FC.
Moscow went a couple of times and came back.
Yeah. So it is difficult. So a team like Downtown, with the support, the preparation, coming close in the last two editions of the playoff, people expect them, but this time they should understand. But to get upset by a Costain FC on your home ground as champions,
But
it's
ATS,
so frustrating.
Chris, come on, ATS, everybody's home ground.
No, that's their home ground. They practice there. They play their league games there. This is where they play their league games. So they get beaten there, and you play at a familiar time. You play 4 o'clock. So there's no way you can give justification for that. And the team is experienced. You have the likes of Jasper Cone on the technical staff. You have Matthew Judutwe. You have Frank Jericho Namwe Jr.
Former national team player.
You have Myron Walker. They have a good technical staff, well supported by a former Liberian international, Poka Rabos, who have gone into the gospel but still supporting football. This is so disappointing for a club like Downtown. I think they should double up. The good thing is this is a back-to-back pairing. So if they win 2-0 in the next match, they are through to the next round.
Yeah.
Congress FC, this is one thing everyone expect to be playing in the second division by now.
Yeah.
Getting beaten, I saw a few minutes of the game before leaving. You could see they could concede a goal because the guys kept knocking on the doors, kept asking the necessary question. And Congress defense look a bit sluggish.
They look pregnable.
Yes.
My boss can
I
say.
said, they look, and this is why we should hail the sub-association organizing this league, not for the big club to start a loss at this early stage. We are saying something. And I think the officiating today I saw was fantastic. Fender and the United.
Fender United, yeah.
I saw the game. The referee called for a goal. The linesman waved for offside.
Calling over.
2 different times. And I'm like, great job. Great job.
That's wonderful. And I was mentioned that these are development referees that are in charge of these games. Let me just give you the fixture for tomorrow. And there will also be games played on Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday. Saturday is rest day, and then they start the knockout stage on Sunday. So what it looks like on tomorrow at the D12 pitch, you get Young Adidas versus Majestic Malacca in the early game. The late game at 4 p.m. we'll see Evergreen versus Fuan FC. The return leg, both of those sides are all square. Elsewhere, Chemical FC will take on Lifoya. Leofa at the ATS. Leofa lost the first leg by 3 goals to 2. Yeah, Leofa. They were 2-0 up. They let slip a 2-goal lead, and then their skipper was Peter. Somebody was given a red card, and then they were pegged back and beaten 3-2. It was a wonderful game. I saw it yesterday at the D12 pitch. Where elsewhere, Golden Dream hold a 3-1 advantage over Montserrat FC. They play at home at the Antonio Turpin Stadium. Mama Point Warriors versus Thunder FC. 4 p.m. is the last game at the ATS. Thunder hold I think a slight advantage. Elsewhere at the SKD practice pitch is Mamba versus Destined Youth FC. Mamba lead 5-0 from the first leg, and then they're going back taking the play at home this time around. Amazing FC versus Caldwell at the SKD practice pitch. That's Caldwell United at the SKD practice pitch. And then on Saturday, that's Friday, you have West Point Arsenal or Shatra versus Junior United. Fender United versus Ansar or Maiden FC. Elsewhere, Youth Zion Defender versus Congress. And then That big game will tell you about Augustine FC versus Downtown FC. Early kickoff at 12 p.m. at Tusa Field. James FC versus District 17 Academy. Academy lead for the first leg. And then Lasadi will trade in 2-0 beyond West Point Arsenal to play in the last game at 4 p.m. on the 10th, which will be on Friday.
So something to talk about. The names of clubs in the third division. There are a few names. I think we should give them thumbs up.
Okay.
And I hope, like Corwell United, I hope it is from Corwell and the people are taking care of that team because the name represent a community.
Sure.
So if you have the people of that locale supporting the team and it comes to the second division, that's a boost. The likes of Fenner United, West Point Arsenal. So these are names I think it's good. On the other note, because let's continue on this discussion on the playoff. I'm disappointed in the organizer also.
How?
A team won the championship in their home in the sub-association to come and play 2 games and go back. I think that is not fair. You should place them in group, at least 3 or 4 games before going back. This is the champion. This is the runner-up. And no one will say it's cost intensive.
I gotta drink water.
Yeah, what? This is the champion of Nuclear Town. This is the champion of Cinco. So you just play 2 games and you are out of the competition. This is not
I
right.
understand your point you're making, but do you consider the fact, even in the UEFA Champions League, there are teams that are crowned champions of their league, like Sheriff
They're not
FC.
seated team.
Seeded.
Yes,
but
seeded
in their
team.
case, they don't have seedings.
So you should. So how do you determine 2 teams from one sub-association and you have other sub-associations having 3 teams because the association been promoting teams. I think they have seeded team in the same way. Because the last time I had this discussion with the guys from Nuclear Town about how many teams will come from there. It was like 1 team, another day 2, another day 3. But why? Say because our league, our teams are not progressing. But I think the clubs should be able, once they come to the playoff, play more games, get that experience. Or just to play 2 games and back, you are into the third division. Presidents spend money to come to the playoff. Yes, you say it is cost intensive, but it is also beneficiary to the players. They play more games. Even in our national league, and this is something we don't talk about. We play less game and we go to CAF competition. It affects us too.
But I'm sorry for interrupting you, Chris, but like you said, finals will be the reason. Okay, and the timing too of the competition. They've got a very big tournament coming up, which is a national playoffs. In that playoff, or in those playoffs, is where all the third division, best third division teams from across, the country will merge in one county and they play the playoff. And that is very cost intensive and long because they are placed into a group and then they will go on to play 3 matches and then teams will qualify or progress to the next stage. Even not like that, given the fact that they are playing one-on-one, I mean, it's all off a long way to go. It will interest you to know that if there are 32 teams to contest in the third division national playoffs, you play up to 20 some odd games. Too many games. Resources, timing, the next league season has to follow. Do you consider we've got to play counter meet and now we are playing U17 competition, and those competitions must be scheduled so much such that they don't interfere with the other time. Recall that the same players that play, majority of them that play in the National Counter Sports League, they are the ones that play in these playoffs currently. So when you consider all the winners of football, you don't want to put those teams into a group and allow them to play 3 games each, 2% qualifying for the group. Even the owners of the various clubs will get a problem because
You think so?
organizing league matches very expensive. If you to
I
pay
don't think so.
three,
Especially a team winning championship, just come and play 2 games.
where do they get money from? If you to play 3 matches in the group before you go knock up.
This is why they are champions. They should show up. So you have a team. You think 2 games, you can actually see the potential in a team or in a player.
You may not see the potential in the player within 2 games, but football sometimes can be constrained. If you don't have the resources, football is money. If you don't have the resources to sponsor the team, to invest in the team, to play those number of games, how do you do? Are you aware that at a certain stage or point in time of the season, some teams can just win, the league will just finish immediately because they're running out of money.
So
they
this
don't
is
have money to
why
even
we
organize
need to
practice sessions. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, there's a reason why they don't have money because why they're running out of money for practice session to pay their players, make other expenses, football related expenses. So for that reason, some clubs truly telling you they want to shut the whole league down. Just like we should go into force majeure, where the FSA, the league ends here. For some people, they'll be very, very happy because finance is the main reason why we don't play the normal games.
Ben, like I said, all will come down to finance. But my thing, we need to institutionalize clubs. If you have a club, one man running a club, Augustine FC, James FC, we need to find partnership. Like take for example, you have Pinsville FC, you have Heaven 11, you have Watanga, you have FC Kalon, or then Musca, all from one city.
But I can't hold.
So
Sorry,
if we just
I'll put you on hold. You have Crystal Palace, Fulham, Spurs, West Ham,
Arsenal,
Chelsea, Arsenal. I'm not going to name even 9 London clubs. Some of them within the championship. When I see them, I will know. Those clubs are in London. Do you question why they don't merge?
So Ben, let's look at the economy we are talking about. Let's look at the support base of the London clubs and look at Pinsville. Imagine if you have 3 of the Pinsville clubs coming together and merge. So Jose Harbour coming with 20,000, Hilary Saki 20,000, Annie Kwemi 30,000.
Well, I know come with
I
that.
just saying something.
No, but poor everybody on 20.
So everyone come with 20 or 30,000. So the whole season, before you go for sponsorship and other business related, the club will be viable. But this is another discussion for a whole day.
And even QPR is from London too, as well.
So I'm just saying, for our setting to have many clubs from just one small community or area, we need to merge and we'll see the full potential of this club. Like the last time, what's the name? TJ Sporting
yeah.
was saying, we need to come together. You can have one club in a city and you go into real estate. You can go to any bank and trust me, they'll be able to loan you our money. You think Pinsville FC can go to RB now for loan? No. What do you have to prove?
to liquidate the loan.
No, nothing to show. So Martin, we need to look at this in the future. Like Musa Berede said, we should take
National County
Premier League.
Premier League.
But that is something I know. I'm still finding it difficult to agree it can happen. But we need to have him for a whole hour.
Yes, I think I will try to get in contact with Benedict.
We don't have him.
Comes on the
And
show,
I spoke with the former presidential candidate, Clarence Manumba, and he said the same thing. He said the same thing, backing PDT ideology. But that's for another day. We need to take a break.
Yeah,
We'll come back.
Do we break? Because I'm trying to establish contact with
Okay,
technical
so
director.
while you're
So remember we
establishing
said if you are
contact
following
with...
the show, I just love for you to come on right now so we can have the conversation. He told me a few while ago that we just arrived and we're trying to get the team checked into the hotel. And he said, I'm hustling, doing all I can to make it in time so that I can be on the program. And then a few minutes after, he said, my battery is running low. I have 2% power left. I'm still not in the room yet, so let me push them small before I can come on. So at this point in time, that was almost an hour ago. And so we expect for him to have power source and come on by now. But he's in Senegal because Liberia are taking on Senegal in the female youth under 17 championship. Both of those sides are there because firstly, Mali withdrew, Liberia went through, Libya withdrew, and Senegal go through to the next stage of the competition. Less than a year from the head coach of the female U17 side, he's been training his guys, training his team over the past days where they've been stopping at the technical center there in Kevisburg, outside of Monrovia. He selected a very, very young squad for the first leg, which will be played over the weekend. And the return leg will be in a matter of days' time at the Summer Canada Sports Complex. So who else is in charge of that U17 team? No other but Sekou D. George's Manuba. He was speaking to the LFA media.
Well, they are competitors, as we all know, in Africa. I think I said the last time. They literally turned into one of the best teams in the world and one of the best teams in Africa. If not one, maybe it might be the second team. So, and with all of their football programs, especially to youth football, well, it's something that it's not in-hitting. They are a really competitive side. It's a really tough one, till now, even me, we are all stay struggling to deal with that situation. But yeah, I mean, the match is a few days from now. My hope, along with the technical staff, the rest of the technical staff, we are trying our best as much as possible to get the guys super engaged and, to have their minds up for the task ahead. Try to make sure we're having a good interactions on a regular daily basis, and all of the other activities, so that we have all set for this all important one. So the ultimate goal is for us to grab a point, and doing that with all the system and the mechanism put in place, we are hopeful that we can be able to get the necessary point from there. Our objective is to make sure that we have a lot of we create a lot of chances and be able to make the most out of them, and try to see how best we can stop them from making threats to us as well. So yeah, I mean, the ultimate goal is for us to grab a point. So to be honest, as far as preparation is concerned, again, like I always say, I hope this can be a nationwide support thing, for the national government. The LFA has tried the best as much as possible under the leadership of President Raji, But as far as preparation is concerned, yes, we have tried our best, and I can say it's okay, and we hope that we can be able to get the necessary results, but we I hoping for much more, support that can be able to help us get the necessary preparation in order to face these teams of the kind. Well, they are.
A very confident Sekou the Judges Manduba, who traveled with the Lars on today as head coach of the U17 females to Dakar, Senegal. So they're playing over the weekend. Chris is still here. He sounds very, very positive. What do you think, Chris?
There's no coach that will go into a match and want to sound a bit negative, most especially when it is the first leg. So Sekou has a very huge task on his head to play a team like Senegal. I tell you, it is always a difficult game playing against Senegal in African football at any level because they know what it means to play at this level in football. So I think a great interview. That's what we love to hear from Liberian coaches. But let's look at the real issue.
The real picture.
The real picture.
I think it's going to be a difficult game because our last visit to Senegal, female category, I think we lost 6-0. But the first leg in Monrovia finished 2-2, and I think we were 2-0 down or something, and then we picked them back to 2-2. It was a tough trip, traveling to Senegal, okay, and the girls lost by 6-0. So, but I just think that some improvements have been made. We want to compete, as always. That's the reason why the LFA is always requesting for more support from government to our female programs, as much as to support the other national teams who believe that national female teams should also be supported. There's new technical staff in charge, and I must also mention that Sekou is a very nice coach at both youth and female level. He's developed some of the brightest female talents anywhere in Liberia. Talking about Nerusa Tier, talking about goalkeeper Pratt, also making mention of Jessica Kwashi. I mean, those are all players. What's the guy name? Messiah Khan or something. But those are all players that he developed them from nowhere to somewhere. Some of them still playing U17, some on the U20 team. So we can always hope our team can improve, right? But I know it's a tough trip traveling to Dakar, Senegal, to play the host. And I must also mention that Sam Pontia Jedo is a journalist from the LFA Media Department traveling with the team. I think his trip will be made on tomorrow morning. But the team has already arrived safely in Dakar. We have this thing about the athletics.
Yeah, but let's continue. I will bring the latest.
Yes, I'm trying to get in contact with Doko Wise. Yeah, he has him piquantly alert here. The link has been sent to the embassy. Should be coming on by now. I don't know what is the issue, but I just read the exchanges between both of us when he arrived at the hotel. That has to be over an hour now. So I expect positive as yet, nothing. But we've selected him to talk about the national team preparation, technical development plans that he as the technical director has presented to the FA. What's the role for? What's the roadmap that is get to present to the FA in the next 2-3 years? How can our football develop? What has been the reports from the various national team coaches? I'm talking about Mario Maronika, Salim Kabidi at the female national team level, Famata Dean, female under 20, Coach Sekou, the judges, Manuba, U17 female team, Kevin Sigme, under 20 male national team. What has been the report from all the coaches to him, in the last 6 months since he's been in charge of the Liberia Football Association? So what are their plans? So there are more concerns, questions than answers once he come on, who's going to throw at his.
So talking about upcoming game is on the 11th, and the return leg is a week later.
Yeah, a week on after the 11, we have the return leg in Monrovia. And I know there's great rivalry between Senegal and Liberia. You recall the CHAN qualifier in Monrovia when Liberia lost 3 goals. So there were 3 goals considered in rampant 19 minutes. But in the return leg, Liberia came from a goal behind to win by 2-1. They didn't go through. We went out on, I think, what's the score line? That was 4-5-2. 4-2 on an aggregate, 4-2. But it was a wonderful second half performance in the second leg by the Liberia national team. So since that time, it is their first meeting at any level again. So I believe it's going to be a fantastic game, but we must be real to ourselves, and to be real is to say the truth. And the truth is that Senegal has got big edge.
The better
They've got big edge.
Going. I know they have prepared so well for this encounter. Like our girls went to camp less than 5 days.
I think they prepare. I read one document that say they prepare for 60 days now. 60 days. So and that's 2 months.
2 months.
And our girls are
when we started preparation.
I think 4 or 5 days or something.
4 or 5 days. We went to camp. George's been training the team for I think 2-3 weeks before. And we must be real. If we are to make gains in African football or any competition, we must look at preparation. Going against Senegal, you must prepare well. The girls, many of them, it's the first time. It's the first time playing international competition at this level. So to take them to that kind of game with less preparation is so bad. You should have the men's side. They should have played a couple of test matches. Then you know. But now, usually, even with our male team, it's just few years we start to play the matches before game. You can use the competition to play, to test your team.
Prepare,
It's so bad. But we pray for the best in that game. But my thing is the preparation towards the game is bad. Football, we only look at in Liberia, the 90 minutes. But before the 90 minutes,
lots of things happen behind
what happened behind the scene. We want to see the team playing good football, winning. But this team did not train consistently for 2 months.
Wow.
Even at the level of Senegal, they kept training.
Sure.
For over 40 days.
After 60 days.
60 days, 2 months.
60 days, I read that.
And you just bringing your team together.
5 days.
5 days. You took them to camp. You think the mentality, probably we just want to play in this competition.
No, not
because
necessarily so,
of participation.
You never say never in football, right? Funnier things are happening in football than Liberia beating Senegal. I recall 1997-98 Champions League. Andrei Shevchenko launched himself to the world when he scored 3 times at Camp Nou when Dynamo Kiev beat Barcelona 4-0. I know that in 2002, on the 31st of May, on a Friday, in Korea and Japan World Cup 2002, a goal from Pape Bouba Diop, may so rest in peace, defeated France, world champions, by a goal to 0. I know that Francois Oman Biek scored the first goal at the 1990 World Cup against defending champions Argentina, and that one goal defeated Argentina. I also know that Rubin Kazan scored twice at Camp Nou to beat Barcelona some years back in the 2000s. But I said this to make you to understand that anything can happen in football. But I'm not saying if you don't prepare, you are going to get results.
Because that is why we're going to go. Because this thing happen because the players, the teams prepare well. Do you know how that Senegalese team with Pupa Diop, LHG Diop, the Camaras,
Fadiga,
the Camara brothers,
Ish Camara,
H and S Camara, Aliou Cissé.
Aliou Cissé.
You know how that team prepare? They prepare well going to that tournament. And I think that was how they performed well in that tournament.
Yeah, they reached the finals of the Nations Cup in 2002, only beaten by Cameroon on penalty shooter. So it was a very strong Senegal side. I do agree with you. So
it's not just one player that come and score and you say it's a shock and this thing can happen.
Yeah,
let's look at our team.
They were very good from head to top. They had Tony Silva,
as the goalkeeper,
Aliou Cissé, and I mean they were so good. Erachi Diouf, Papuba Diop, this Leitner, and Cissé, Fadiga. I mean Ish Camara. You talk about the Camara brothers. I mean they were just a group of marvelous players. In fact, even after that tournament, they would go play for clubs there, Liverpool, you know, and so forth. So still not get in contact with technical director Douglas Wisse, but we can talk away from football. Yeah.
So moving away from football, I like this. Liberia made it through to the Paris Olympic, and the Liberian relay team. This is when, if you don't know in athletics what is relay,
you have to explain that to us.
Yeah, so you have 3 persons or 4 running as a team.
Okay.
So the first runner will hold
something like a torch.
Like a torch or the baton.
Okay.
So you run your mile. When you reach, you turn over to the next man. The next man run, turn over until. So this is how the legs of Matari, Akim, Salif, and Joseph Famole represented Liberia, and to get the qualification, Joe Famole, everyone carrying the name Joseph Famole, is a great guy, and he overtook the legs of Sweetie, who in another country, but we'll show you the video, to come second.
That's a remarkable achievement.
Close to Germany. So let's go to our studio to bring you the Liberian team that reached the Paris Olympic with Joseph Famole taking that lead at a very crucial time.
Germany, Switzerland, Poland right on the outside, Liberia in the black colours between the two. Switzerland have the baton in first position though. William Reyes on the final leg. Brazil challenging on the inside with Paulo Camilo, and Germany down the outside with Yannick Bull. It's Germany, Switzerland, Liberia. We're charging. That's going to be tight for that second spot. Germany are booked to Paris. Switzerland and Liberia. Switzerland might have thought they were there, but Joseph Farnbuller was absolutely motoring. Has Switzerland got it? They haven't. Liberia with a national record are off to the Olympic Games on thousandths of a second ahead of Switzerland. Germany, Switzerland, Poland right on the outside, Liberia in the black colours between the two. Switzerland have the baton in first position though. William Reyes on the final leg. Brazil challenging on the inside with Paulo Camilo, and Germany down the outside with Yannick Bull. It's Germany, Switzerland, Liberia. We're charging. That's going to be tight for that second spot. Germany are booked to Paris. Switzerland and Liberia. Switzerland might have thought they were there, but Joseph Farnbuller was absolutely motoring. Has Switzerland got it? They haven't. Liberia with a national record are off to the Olympic Games on thousandths of a second ahead of Switzerland. Germany, Switzerland.
I think in the semi-final or something like that. That was absolutely remarkable. I'm not too surprised that we've come this far, and I believe that in him we're able to compete for silver, gold, and whatever matter at the athletics championship. I have They believe in him. I think it's a strong team. Matali have been around for a very long
Manuel
period of time.
Matali.
Very, very experienced Liberian runner, plus history in the years of it. And so it's just a family. We can only wish them well, but that was absolutely remarkable. I mean, people always say our sports winners succeeding, but I think away from football, we can check on some successes, and that is one of them, to finish only second behind Germany, beating countries like Switzerland and Sweden and all the other teams. I mean, it's just simply genius, just genius.
That's why I said he's a beast. He's a beast.
Matari. Just genius from him. So we're not having.
So let me just read the name of the Liberian team, relay team: Emmanuel Matali, Jabba Reeves, and Akin Salif, along with Joseph Famole, did that great job for Liberia, as Liberia qualified for the relay in the Paris Olympic. Should be next month.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should be next month. But like you said, we feel we are not making it in football, basketball, but there are sports we are making it. And I think Andy Kwame consider Gerald Cole Bangalu, Minister of Youth and Sports, the Finance Ministry, the government of Liberia, the chief patron of sports. This one, my guys in football, may feel bad, but I think we need to throw our attention beyond some individual sports, because they've been bringing laurels to us, like our amputee team. They've been doing well, but we are not spending more on them. We spend more on football, and we get nothing.
He said nothing?
What do we have? We don't go to big competition. Now we have our guys. They will be at the Olympic. This is the world stage.
I agree with you.
In Africa, when last we qualify for a big competition, the Nations Cup, the WAFU, the CHAN.
That's more than 22 years ago.
This is bad. We spend money, and I don't know. That's why I wanted Toko Wisse to be here today. Tell us, what's the target? What's the roadmap for Liberian football? How can we reach the Nations Cup or the World Cup? We fire coaches every now and then. Are the coaches the problem? Or administrator? Or the players? We need to have a sports dialogue or conference. Or probably football, to know where we are and what do we want to do.
And I still believe that one of the best person who can speak to on this is Toko Wisse. So if we don't get him with the program inching closer to closing time, we can still make arrangements with him, because we have Friday edition of the program. We're trying to make that fascinating for you. Probably want to bring on
George Roger.
Do we say controversial George Roger?
I don't think it's controversial.
No, when I say controversial, when you give an interview like that and you speak so boldly in the face of your former boss and you accused him, of some malpractices.
It's not only George.
Then that becomes
I
controversial.
spoke to other referees and they are waiting to come on. So probably we have said this match facing in Liberian football is something it is hard to detect, but this is a former FIFA batch referee.
But what is the guarantor that what Mr. Rogers has said is truth?
So
That's
we
one thing,
will bring him. We'll bring him. He will come.
Because
I
for
spoke
many
with
years-
Stanley, and Stanley said he's not ready to talk. He will speak at the appropriate time. So Roger and the other, let them come. We will ask them, what's the guarantor? What's the proof we have? Do you have communication from this person to say, go to this game, ref in favor of this team because I want this team to do this, or this money is for you to either balance the game.
Yeah.
So they will answer
So-
all
so-
of these questions.
so that's
why
what I
are you
finish.
coming up now to speak on these
Why
things?
not before when
Why
you were
not
in the
before
system?
when you had a whistle?
So it's a
Is
very
it that you want to be referee director or what? So there are so many questions we need to ask. And Friday, I can say we will be right here. If it costs for us to be 3 to present this show,
yeah.
and George Roger, we will. If it is
George Roger
children,
is in town.
Ben and myself, we will sit on our program.
Most of the time he's not
it
in
is-
town. He's always on the border land there, you know. Sorry for interrupting you.
No,
guys.
but he can sit anywhere
Okay.
and participate. He
This
was
is-
bold to me that I'm ready to speak.
To speak out.
Even when I call him to do the story, he's like, I just want live interview.
Well, tough stuff happening even in Europe in football. I mean, I know the position of Trojan Kia Zulu. Right now. But
The other night he was here giving result against our Manchester United.
yeah, but I tell
So
you
what's
what,
the result?
No, it's the game is still on. 3/4 of the game played. Okay, it's still Real Madrid 0, Bayern Munich 0, and it's 2-2 on aggregate, 0-0 on the night. If it stays like that, they're going to go extra time. They are playing for the right to face Borussia Dortmund, who won Paris Saint-Germain on yesterday by a single Matt Hummels goal to nil, winning 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate to make it to their first Champions League final in 11 years at the same venue. So 11 years ago, Borussia Dortmund were at Wembley. 11 years on, they come
are.
back to Wembley. They could out of play the team they beat in the semi-final 11 years ago, Real Madrid, or the team they play in the final 11 years ago, Bayern Munich. So that would do it. Too big for me.
This is a very good result. And it is so good. Alfonso Davis just put Bayern ahead. 69 minutes, we have gone Bayern 1, Real Madrid 0, 3-2 on aggregate as it stands. Alfonso Davis, Liberian born Canadian.
Georgia Amio, my friend there. Chris announced the result. But anyway,
Football
Real
is
Madrid
football.
are losing at home at the Santiago Bernabeu, and they have now been beating all of that competition at home for the last 5 years. So still 20 plus minutes to go at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 0, Bayern Munich 1. Alfonso Davis, as you heard from Chris Walker, there putting Bayern up front. If it stays like that, we're going to have a repeat of the 2013 final at the same venue in Wembley between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund.
Come on, finger is on. Tramini, leave the page. Luka Modric is on. Toni Kroos out. Immediately after they go.
Predictable substitutions is what we call leg for leg. So if you take a Toni Kroos, you bring in Lucas Modric, it's almost like leg for leg. Same age group, can have the same impact. Probably Toni Kroos might be more physical than Luka Modric, but he can hit the ball long. He can get the defense, splitting passes. So with 20 minutes left in the Champions League and you are going out, you want to play the 39-year-old who has so much more experience, you know. Camavinga is all charming in. Both of them are French. Both of them have been on the level of the World Cup play in the final before. Both of them have won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Their leg for leg play similarly holding roles. So that's what you want to do. And that's predictable of Carlo Ancelotti. So he has over 19 minutes or so to give an account of himself, or else Real Madrid and Trojan Kia Zulu will crash off of the
And we will
Champions
see
League.
an all-German final.
Yeah, all German final will be for the second time. We'll be having an all German final. The
Between
first
the
time, like I
same
said, yeah, the same team, 2013 at Wembley. But Borussia Dortmund had won the trophy before. Okay, they won it in 1997. Okay, with what's the guy who used to be former Aston Villa coach, Paul Lambert. Paul Lambert was part of the team, and they had the big German player one summer, Matthias Sommer. Yeah, he was a star German player then. And they won Juventus from Italy by 3-1. They were the underdogs in that game. And the stone of
It's
Juventus.
1-1.
Real Madrid, oh yeah. Who you got last for Real Madrid?
It's 1-1. Probably VAR will rule this goal out.
Are they checking?
I think they are checking because it just appeared 1-1. Yet to see the scorer. It's so interesting. Going back to 3-3 on aggregate.
So, well, that's all time we got to be with you. We'd love to be here longer, but time flies when you're having fun, so to say. But it's an interesting Champions League game. 2 Old Foes. I mean, between them, they've won the Champions League, I think, 20 times between them. Real Madrid, 14, Bayern Munich, 6. And they've played more semi-final and final and quarterfinal than any other team in the Champions League. So as it stands, they are heading for extra time. My name is Ben Gagba. Chris Walker is still here. Chris, you want to close? So we call it a day.
So it was a very interesting edition. Hope to see you on Friday. Like we said, it promises to be very interesting. We'll have George Roger and another referee who is waiting to speak. And we should also have Toko Wisa, probably.
Yeah. But then I think he's going to be in a very good position to come on.
And we also may speak to Sekou Georges Moduba from Senegal.
And I can confirm by that time, Sempodia Jado will be in Dakar already. So he leaves for Dakar on tomorrow. So by Friday evening, we can get the best from there. So he will be alongside the judges and the technical director. Yet in Liberia, we're going to have George Rogers and another referee whom they all say they are prepared to speak out. So like you heard from Chris, Stanley Conan has said he's going to be mute until the appropriate time before he responds.
Because all that on the fire alarm.
But all that has come in the counter meet after a blatant error, after an error. Let me be careful and choose my word very carefully. After an error from central referee Josephus Tachila that allowed him to disallow what looks to be a good Grand Juda goal against Neymar. Neymar would eventually go on to win after an epic semi-final, an epic quarterfinal that is, and a 2-2 played over 2 days, and Neymar will win from penalty shooter. So my name is Ben, wishing you goodbye. Myself, I want to have time to get home properly to watch the extra time of the Real Madrid Bayern Munich Champions League semi-final second leg at the Santiago Bernabeu. For me and the rest of the production crew, headed by Rufus Mulba, it's been nice here with you. We're going to be back here on Friday. Until then, always remember, into your sports talk.